Hiya, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an oil and filter change on the BMW S1000 XR. Mine's a Gen 2 2022 model. So I'll talk you through how I do it, but I'm no mechanic. I just play about with bikes and cars over the years, that kind of thing. So this is how I do an oil change. I've got myself some Silkaline and an oil filter. So we're going to go down to the new man cave, have a little tinker about and a play, and I'll talk you through what I do. Let's go. Right, so now we're down in the man cave. Bike's on a centre stand, I'll show you that. Get out of the way, there you go. We're going to work down this side here, so I've got plenty of room. Can open the back door, get it turned on, get it warmed up. Get the oil nice and warm. When it's nice and warm, we'll crack the sump plug and get on with the job. So let's get it started up, let it rev away for a bit. Nicely warmed up. Got myself some cardboard and a homemade oil filter tray, just an old screen wash tub. I've cut the top off. And then under here we've got the sump plug. So you need the T50. Where's the lens? There's the lens. Can you see that? T50 socket and your big ratchet. And then under here, just here, we crack the sump plug off. Right, next job. So while that's been draining away, I've gone and found me oil filter tool. I've got one of these little cup ones. It's got the numbers 7614 inside. I don't know if that helps. But it just fits on the filter and then you undo it. Just be careful with this because the exhaust is right next to it, so you don't want to burn yourself. And there isn't exactly much room, to be honest. There we go, it's off now. So that's loosened, so just going to get my hands in there, turn my little tub round because the oil's going to catch. Ooh, the bastard. This is where it gets really messy because it spills oil all over the exhaust, as you can see. I mean, there is tricks you can use with tin foil and bits and bobs like that. I don't bother, just let it drain, wipe it off, bit of brake cleaner, then when you start it up it smokes off anyway. Like I said to you, I'm no mechanic, this is just my way of doing it. Right, that's the oil filter out. It's quite warm actually. I think I might have warmed it up a bit too much than I should have. Right, that is quite hot. Ooh. So just give it a quick wipe now while the oil's still warm. Make sure you take the seal off. And give it a good wipe round where it lives. I've just got myself an old rag, got in there, give it a good wipe. Happy days. What a mess. So the exhaust is smoking already because it's so warm. Right, we'll let that drain away for a bit now. I've gone and cut that hole too big in there because I'm going to pour this into another bowl to take the tip. Oh well. Right, so while that's draining away, I'm going to have a little breather, drink my cup of tea, it's up there. I'm going to again grab the new oil, bring it over, make sure I've got my funnel, get all my bits together. Get the torque wrench out because that's needed next to put the sump plug on. I need to get a little screwdriver and pick that old sump plug washer off actually. I'd be very surprised if BMW, when they serviced this last year, actually didn't fit one. but there ain't one here. And don't forget when you take your oil filter off, take your seal. Yeah, my seal's stuck to that, so the new. So something I forgot to mention at the beginning is you need to take the oil filler cap off to allow the air to come through, which allows the oil to drain easier. But as it's nearly drained, just make sure that's nice and clean. It also acts as a reminder so you don't start it up without oiling, but as I'm doing an oil change, I'm not likely to do that, but you never know. Get a quick whiz around. There we go. So should have done that at the beginning. Never mind. So, there it is. So it was left on. Well, I just hooked it off. Looks like they've used an alley one on there. That's the oil change. Right then, so you can see now this is all out and nice and clean. So this is where the oil filter goes, so just give it a quick wipe. You want to make sure that the surface it goes on is nice and clean, which it is. The exhaust has cooled down now so I can get in there. So I've got a nice high flow HF 160, so a nice brand new one. Still got the seal on the bottom of this one. So we get it unpackaged. So drop a finger in there. A smear of oil around the sealing ring of the new oil filter basically. All the way around. There we go. We'll just put this back to one side for now so we don't spill it everywhere, because that'll be next. Right, let's put you back in there so you can see. There's the filter. So you can just see that, screwing it on. There we go. So that's on there, nice and tight by hand. And then, just been having a look on the old internet. It says these are to be done up to 11 Newton meters. So, I've got my little torque wrench. I've put 11 Newton meters on the scale, nipped it up. And I'm going to see if I can get this on here and do it up to 11 Newton meters. I'm not sure if it'll fit in. There we go. So, let me just do that up. Don't over tighten the oil filter because you can damage the threads inside. So, I recommend if you've got a torque wrench, you use it. There you go. So that's 11 Newton meters according to that. But once we run it up and fill it, we'll check it just in case we get any dribbles around it. And then, if needs be, if need be, we'll give it a little time. But other than that, job done at the minute. Right then. So due to a technical issue, I've got to do this bit again. I'm changing my sump plug from the BMW sump plug, which is a Torx bolt, Torx head. I'm changing that to a titanium. Now it's still the same, still got the same thread pitch, etc. It came off my R. If you watch the channel, I used to have this on the R, and it doesn't particularly make any difference. It saves weight and all that kind of junk, but it's still got a magnet on the end. The reason I change it is because it takes a 17mm socket on the end instead of the Torx socket T50, right? Which I find on the R, it corroded up on one occasion. And I was left with a corroded sump plug, so I had to use the mollies to get it off, which isn't really ideal. But because it's titanium, so whenever you fit a new one, you always fit a new sealing ring. I use the copper ones. There is an aluminium one on this when it came off, which I have had in the past on other bikes, but copper are the best. It crushes up well. So put yourself a new sealing ring on, new sealing ring washer, and with it being titanium, just give it a little smear of copper crest. So dissimilar metals and all that kind of stuff, just around the threads. Don't need to go mad, just a little smear. There we go. So one last wipe of the old socket, and then we'll pop this in nice and tight. So I'm going to put it in by hand, because if you do it by hand it makes the next oil change easier. So I'm told. Or, if you really want to do it properly, shift all the junk out of the way. Oh, wibbly wobbly. You need a torque wrench. So I've got the big torque wrench out. I've put 28 Newton meters on the scale. I'll put it on the screen, 28. 17mm socket. And then we'll do it. There you are. So 28. I found that quite low actually for a sump plug. On the R I'm sure it was in the 40s, but it's 28 on this. So that is pretty much a finished job. Quick little wipe. We've got no oil anywhere. So next job's fill it up. Let's get on with that. Right then, so the next job now is fill it up. This is the final job, and then we'll give it a rev up and let it settle when it's warm, check the level, top it up, job done. So this sight glass down here, we need to keep our eye on this, make sure that we're not going more than halfway when we're filling it up. And remember we took the cap off, which is down there, this is where we put it in. So I've bought myself some Silclean Pro 4XP fully synthetic. I've got 4 litres worth. Top line oil is only the best for your bike, isn't it really? According to the manual it's 4 litres with a new oil filter. So I've got 4 litres, let's just hope it is 4 litres and no more. It's this handy little tub, you rip the cardboard out the top and you can hold it. So it's quite a slow process, so let's just get on with it. So we're just starting to show on the sight glass now, there's a little, not even a bit of a quarter on there, so I'm sure it's a litre from the top to the bottom to the top of the sight glass. Right, so as you can see on the sight glass, can you see that there? We've gone over half really, I've gone a bit too far, but it'll be okay. Make sure we're nice and clean, so put the lid back on. And that is pretty much your oil change done. So now we're going to open up the garage, start it up, rev it to get it nice and warm, but keep it on the sight glass as we go because we want to put some oil into the filter. And as we're doing this, we need to check down there to make sure we've got no leaks on the sump plug, and in here to make sure we've got no leaks off the bottom of the filter. Then if we're happy, put the dirty panel back on. Needs a bit of a wash this bike, doesn't it? Right, let's get on with that. Right, so just give it a rev up, bring it up to temp, and judging by the sight glass, it needs a top up. There's no leaks off the filter, no leaks off the sump plug, so we'll just give it a top up. And we'll have that as a complete job. So you can see the sight glass is now just over half full, so that's job done as far as I'm concerned. Perfect, no leaks anywhere. Just got to get this panel back on, that's a completed job. So as before, you've got to get the side panel back on. There's 2 clips here and here, you see these 2 holes. These 2 clips located in there. Can you see that? Yeah. Give it a good press to click in. Has that not gone in? That's not gone in. Why is that not gone in? There you go. One's gone in. And that one, the exhaust's a bit up. There you go, got it. So there's them 2 clipped in. And then your 3 T25 bolts, as we did previously when we took it off. Right then, so that's how I do an oil and filter change on the BMW S1000 XR 2022. This is a TE triple black, makes no difference. So I'll put a link in the description to all the parts I've used. I've got high flow filter HF160. And then Silclean, fully synthetic, 4 litres worth. He's took the whole thing, which is perfect because it's just over halfway on the sight glass, so that's brilliant. But Silclean fully synthetic 5W40, it's what's the manufacturer recommended. There's like a dribble, makes no difference left in that, so 4 litres is bang on. The torque settings I'll put down below as well. And then check it for leaks here and there, so that's basically a little minor service done really. Oil and filter change in the new man cave. So next I've got an air filter to do. So I'm just going to check what time it is, see if I've got time to do that today. If so, let's get on with that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, give us a sub if you fancy it. And hopefully this video's helped some of you do the same job. But just remember, I ain't no mechanic, so if you're not sure, take some professional advice, book your bike into a local garage, CMC, that kind of thing, and get it done there. But for me, I'm quite happy with that. And then hopefully join you back in the garage soon. So thanks for watching, take care. Ta-da.